Okay, so hello everybody, and welcome to our Fida members moments. It's a great opportunity to speak to Fredha. Um, Her work is, I guess, a whole array of work from fashion design, illustration, digital illustration, and there's a whole mix of work. So I guess it will be over to Fredha. It's not really for me to talk. I'm going to be a voyeur in this experience, and we're going to really sort of let you talk and if we have any times that I want to ask any questions, if anybody wants to ask any questions, if they just want to put it in the chat, and there'll be some minutes at the end where we can sort of designate some time to that. So Fredha, it's over to you, and you can take control. And I'm just going to sit in the background and be a fan and watch.
Hi everyone, thank you for being here today with me, and thank you for the opportunity to talk about my work. Today with me there is Vanessa. She will be my interpreter because my English is not perfect, so with her we can have a more fluid conversation. I'm an Italian fashion illustrator with a background in fashion design. I graduated with fashion design in Milan, where I had the opportunity to create my fashion capsule collection, and I had a fashion show too. I'd like to share some pictures about it before to share my portfolio, if you like. Okay. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
There we go. Good.
Okay. Now we start to speak Italian. It's better. Questa collezione è stata creata circa 6 anni fa. Aveva come tema il corpo, con particolare attenzione al punto delle spalle.
Okay, so this collection was created more or less 6 years ago, and has a focus the shoulders and the shape of the body.
Le spalle è un simbolo di forza femminile per me, ed è per questo che i capi hanno dei dettagli appunto sulla parte delle spalle.
Shoulders for me as a symbol of the strength of a woman, and for this reason I'm very attentive to focus my attention on the shoulders.
Nelle prime 2 immagini, il vestito e la giacca sono stati realizzati da me attraverso la pittura su tessuto, e per la realizzazione di questa collezione devo ringraziare AFOL, che con un team di arte ha potuto produrre la mia collezione.
In these 2 images we use a particular technique of painting above the fabric, and I realized and made this painting, and I have to say thanks for the brand to do this collection.
Molto interessante anche la realizzazione di queste 2 giacche all'interno delle immagini, la terza e la seconda in basso, che è stata realizzata attraverso una particolare tecnica di manipolazione del tessuto che ha creato questo arricciamento.
So the particular interest is for the 2 images in the bottom on the left, because we use a particular technique to recreate this kind of fabric, especially after a manipulation of the fabric, to obtain the curled fabric and the fluffy effect that you can see.
Alcuni dei miei outfit sono stati pubblicati anche su alcune riviste di moda come Fida e Marica Magazine.
Some of my outfits was published on some very important magazine as Fida and
Marica Magazine.
Marica Magazine.
Questa esperienza è stata meravigliosa, perché per un designer poter vedere prodotta e poi sfidare la propria collezione credo che sia una delle emozioni più grandi.
This was very emotional and exciting experience for my job, because I think that for a designer is one of the best moments in his career.
Subito dopo ho iniziato a lavorare da Etro, ISA, l'Italian Luxury Brand, dove all'interno dell'ufficio stile, insieme a un team di designer, ci occupavamo di creare i capi che sarebbero poi andati in collezione.
After a little while, I started to work at Etro. During this period, I enjoy a staff of designers, and with them, I created some of the models that we can put on the catwalk and during the runways as personal models.
In Etro ho potuto vedere tutte quelle che sono le fasi di realizzazione di una sfilata, quindi dalla fase iniziale di ricerca, poi le primi sketch, il rapporto con l'ufficio stampe o anche con il reparto della modellistica, della sartoria, lo shooting e tutta la campagna pubblicitaria e vendite. Quindi è stata un'esperienza formativa a 360 gradi.
During this period at Etro, I can see all the phases of the production, from the research, the mood board, and then the first sketches, the printing, the modeling, the shooting, and the marketing and promotion of a product. So all this period was very important for me to create my understanding of this kind of job.
L'esperienza in Etro però mi ha fatto anche capire che avevo bisogno di spazi più ampi per esprimermi ed è per questo che mi sono specializzata come illustratrice di moda.
After this period at Etro, I understand that I love so much this kind of aspect of the work as a designer, but I wanted to explore more the illustration and the world of the illustration in general. And for this reason, I started to go into it more deeply.
About my process, quando in genere scelgo i soggetti per le mie illustrazioni, specialmente se si tratta di progetti personali, scelgo magari i miei soggetti da immagini di riviste o da sfilate o dalle persone intorno a me. Molto spesso mi piace dire che sono loro che scelgono me, perché con alcuni di essi sento una reale connessione.
And during this period, when I started my journey with illustration, I understand then much more or inspiration comes from all the people and from the outside. And this is a really beautiful thing that I want to catch, to take inspiration from my models, and they are really the great inspiration for me. It's not exactly my idea, but it's more than they gave me all the time.
Per questo che inizio le mie illustrazioni con una prima parte di studio in cui scelgo magari le pose e i colori, ma mi piace lasciare la parte finale al mio istinto affinché anche il risultato a volte possa sorprendere me.
For this reason, I decided to choose all the aspects of the image, for example, the pose or colors, but sometimes I want to leave to them the possibility to change some aspects and to create such a surprise. A surprise at first for me and then for the other spectators.
In merito alle tecniche che utilizzo, nella maggior parte delle mie illustrazioni mi piace utilizzare mixed media ed è per questo che miscelo le tecniche tradizionali come gli acrilici, le acquerelli, le matite colorate con tecniche digitali. Io uso Photoshop e Procreate.
And most of the time, I love to use mixed media. For example, I use crayon, pens, markers, acrylics, or at the same time, I want just to use some digital apps such as Procreate or Photoshop, and I want just to mix everything all together. I'm just forgetting the watercolors.
Le acquerelli sono una delle mie tecniche preferite, infatti è quasi sempre presente nelle mie illustrazioni, a volte come dettagli, a volte per l'intera illustrazione.
In fact, watercolors was one of the most important tools that I used during my artwork. And then for this reason, they are always present in each artwork that I realized.
In generale comunque amo sperimentare, credo che la sperimentazione sia una fase importante da non riservare soltanto all'inizio in cui si intraprende questa attività, ma anche da lasciare successivamente, perché è importante per noi illustratori avere nuovi stimoli e non sentirci in una gabbia creativa dovendo utilizzare sempre la stessa tecnica.
For this reason, I like so much to experiment and experience different kinds of tools and paths, because I think that during a design journey is really important to try different ways to express yourself and don't remain close into a cage.
Nel mio portfolio ho deciso di raggruppare tutte quelle che sono le categorie che riguardano l'illustrazione moda. Credo che un portfolio, affinché sia completo e professionale, debba considerare un po' tutti questi aspetti.
For this reason, you can find in this portfolio different kind of style, because I think that it's really important to be very complete and to show all different kind of techniques in this field, like illustration it is.
In questa prima slide ho riunito alcune illustrazioni che riguardano l'illustrazione e la moda donna.
In this first slide, you can see some pictures that I collected to show you something about collection for women.
Nella prima illustrazione a sinistra è un'immagine ripresa da un backstage di Dior nel Spring Summer 2019. Questa illustrazione è stata realizzata con una base matita e acrilici ed acquerelli.
In the first image on the left, you can see an image that takes inspiration from Dior 2019 backstage. And the basis is with pencil, but on the top, I create another layer using watercolor.
Trovo molto interessante potersi ispirare ad immagini di backstage o comunque poter illustrare durante un backstage, perché si ha la possibilità di poter cogliere anche l'aspetto emozionale delle modelle. Il loro viso è più naturale rispetto a quando sfidano, e quindi l'emozione, che è un tema che mi è caro nelle mie illustrazioni, è molto presente.
It's really important for me to take some pictures or some ideas directly from the backstage, because during the backstage you can find some specific expression, more natural, and you can understand the real way that the model can be before the show. And this is more natural and more original, and I think that it's really important to catch that moment.
L'illustrazione invece in alto al centro rappresenta una giacca di Céline. Céline è uno dei miei brand preferiti perché riesce a coniugare minimalismo, raffinatezza e creatività, ed è stata realizzata in acrilico.
In the top, in the middle top, you can see an artwork realized inspired by Céline. And this is one of my favorite brands because can conjugate together elegance and creativity at the same time, but don't forget a little touch of minimalism.
L'illustrazione in basso è un portrait che prende un outfit di Gucci Resort che ha sfilato a Palazzo Pitti a Firenze ed è realizzato in digitale.
In the middle on the bottom, we can see a picture realized inspired by Gucci Resort 2018, a show at Palazzo Pitti di Firenze. And during this showcase, I realized this picture completely with digital tool.
Una cosa che mi piace fare nelle mie illustrazioni molto spesso è cancellare una parte dell'illustrazione e creare questo effetto frastagliato per dare un aspetto più fluido e più naturale.
One of the things that I love to do when I create this kind of artwork is to delete the edge of the image, and the border is not clear, it's a little bit deleted. So this is because I want to give much more movement, and I want to create an image more dynamic.
L'ultima illustrazione invece trae ispirazione da un shooting fotografico di Anu Cart, che è una delle mie fotografe preferite e rappresenta un outfit di Saint Laurent realizzato in digitale.
On the right side, you can see an artwork that is inspired by an art photo. It's one of my favorite photographer. And this is very interesting because it's a very simple sketch. But in this sketch, I used again this deleted technique.
In quest'altra slide ho raggruppato invece alcune illustrazioni legate alla moda uomo.
In this slide, you can see some illustrations for fashion man works.
La prima a sinistra è in digitale e con alcune macchie realizzate in acquerello ed è un outfit di Prada.
On the left side, you can see an artwork that is realized with central part. In the middle, you have the watercolor, and then I just put the stroke using the digital tools.
L'illustrazione in basso invece è un outfit di Armani ed è realizzata completamente in acquerello.
In the middle, on the bottom, there's an outfit of Armani, 2023-2024. It is realized completely using watercolors.
Le altre due illustrazioni sono illustrazioni digitali, la prima è una giacca di Jill Sander, mentre quella sulla destra riprende un look di Victoria Thomas. In particolare quest'ultima, più che evidenziare i dettagli dell'outfit, ho voluto giocare creando una fusione tra il modello e il background.
The other two images, on the top in the middle and on the right side, are completely realized with digital tools. In these two cases, I don't want to put my attention on details, but I want just to create a merge between the background and the shape of the model. In both cases, I focus my attention on the jacket. In the first is a jacket of Jill Sander, and the second, on the right side, is inspiration from Victoria Thomas, 2021.
In quest'altra ho raggruppato invece alcune illustrazioni legate al make-up e profumi.
In this other slide, I put my attention on makeup and perfumes.
La prima è un make-up molto famoso di Valentino Spring Couture realizzato in acquerello.
On the left side is the very famous makeup of Valentino Spring Couture 2019.
Mentre al centro è rappresentato il profumo Paradox, la base realizzata in Procreate, le macchie in acquerello.
In the center, there's image of Prada Paradox perfume, and the background is realized in Procreate, and the image is colored with watercolors.
Per questa illustrazione ho creato anche un'animazione, credo che sia una delle direzioni che sta prendendo adesso l'illustrazione, è per questo che cerco insomma di implementare la mia formazione in questo campo.
For this image of Prada, I realized also a motion graphic because I think that is the future for illustration field to enhance the skills about motion and motion graphic as well.
L'ultima illustrazione è una mia idea di make-up realizzata in acquerello con alcuni interventi in Procreate.
On the right side, you can see my personal vision of a makeup. There's no inspiration, and I realized all the picture using watercolors.
In questa slide ho inserito alcune illustrazioni legate agli accessori. La prima, ad esempio, riprende un cappello famoso di Nina Ricci.
In this slide, you can see some fashion accessories, and on the left side, there's a very famous hat of Nina Ricci, PWF for 2019, and I reprised this famous hat.
Un altro aspetto delle mie illustrazioni, a volte mi piace non completare l'illustrazione e lasciare alcune parti non disegnate affinché l'osservatore possa continuare con la sua mente il disegno.
Another special aspect of my way of drawing is to don't say everything using the stroke. For example, in this image, I don't mark the skirt, not the shirt, sorry. And I leave to the other person the opportunity to imagine the shape of the shirt. And that's the reason why I don't draw everything.
La seconda illustrazione invece rappresenta gli occhiali Gucci, un must di questo momento, realizzata in digitale con sovrapposizioni in acquerello.
In the middle, on the top, there's the very famous Gucci sunglasses, and this artwork is realized using watercolors and a layer of digital procreate artwork.
Le ultime due illustrazioni sono state realizzate in acquerello con varie sovrapposizioni. La prima è una borsa Gucci e l'altra è un'immagine su VMag fatta dalla fotografa Emma Summerton.
The last two images are realized using the combination of watercolors and digital tools. In the first image on the bottom, you can see a Gucci purse, and the second on the right is an image of Emma Summerton, a VMag editorial photo.
In questa slide ho raggruppato alcune illustrazioni legate al mondo delle scarpe. La prima è un décolleté Jimmy Choo, realizzato in digitale con applicazioni in acquerello, così come anche nell'illustrazione in basso le diverse scarpe usano la stessa tecnica.
In this slide, you can see some works about fashion shoes. The first on the left is a Jimmy Choo model, and I realized using again mixed media. The background is with the watercolors and then some layers created with digital tools.
L'ultima illustrazione sulla destra rappresenta uno dei miei ultimi lavori che ho fatto per Fida, per il Jetinder brand. Jetinder è un brand molto interessante perché unisce l'aspetto artigianale ad elementi grafici.
On the right side, there's a work that I was very proud of because it's a Jetinder sandal shoes. I realized this artwork using a background, and on the top of the background, I realized a line art very specific that is related to the brand that conjugate perfectly artisanal method of production with creativity.
Infine ho inserito alcune illustrazioni legate al mondo dei gioielli. La prima a sinistra è omaggio a Elsa Peretti, sempre un lavoro che ho fatto in collaborazione con Fida.
In this slide, you can see something about fashion jewelry. On the left side, there's a Elsa Peretti artwork, and I created this picture in collaboration with Fida.
La modella è realizzata in acquerello, mentre i gioielli sono stati applicati attraverso Procreate, quindi è un esempio di mixed media che utilizzo.
The shape of the model is created with watercolors, but I create some inserts using Procreate, and this is a very perfect example of mixed media.
Un po' anche così per l'ultima immagine sulla destra, dove il focus sono gli orecchini marni.
On the right side, the focus is on the Marni's earrings, and this is another example of mixed media.
What else? Credo di essere una persona comunque molto eclettica. Io amo l'arte a 360 gradi e anche altre forme di illustrazione, in particolare quella editoriale. Infatti collaboro con alcune case editrici per la realizzazione di cover books o altri inserti, eccetera.
What I say about me, I'm so very eclectic artist and I love to create some different kind of artworks, not just for fashion, but also for editorials, for book covering, and for publishing field in general. That's it.
Perfecto.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick.
No, Fredha, a great history on your sort of journey from a fashion design, fashion informing your process, and then moving on to how you think about fashion. I've worked with a lot of Italians. I worked at Marangoni for 13 years. So I don't know if you know Marangoni in Milan. It's a fashion
Conosci
store.
Marangoni in Milano?
Yes, I know Marangoni,
Yeah,
but
I was a tutor there for 13 years. So I know my Italian is terrible, but I understand the idea of how Italians think about fashion and style, and they really analyze fashion in a very conceptual way. So it was interesting to hear the way your thought process behind fashion, and your in-depth understanding of aesthetics and what people really want and desire in fashion. And I think some people get confused about beauty of fashion with the thought process behind desirability, which I think is nice to hear from you. So I think it's good to hear a good overview of your work, and it was really nice to see you going from doing work that you'd seen from brands to then doing a real life project like the Tiffany and the one for Jatinda. I think you just started as a member when we did the Tiffany's. You were very like last minute.
thank you.
So it was good that like to see you in a more whole project with the Jatinda one. And I think the outcome is a little bit more on brand. And I think you've mastered it really well, and the outcome's really nice, and I think it's really I can feel there's more time and thought gone into the aesthetics of the brand of Jatinda. So I think that one's really executed really well, and some of your figures are really good, and your understanding of allowing negative space to be used for people to use their imagination, which I really appreciate, and I think is a good move for you. So, no, an excellent presentation, and it was great to see your work, and it's great to see your process and how you really think about the intricate details of what fashion illustration is. And as you said, you're interested in editorials and things like that, and I feel personally that illustrators will have fashion illustrators will have more of a role, not only in live events but also at events like fashion shows again. So I feel that fashion illustrators need to make themselves more present at Milan Fashion Week. We spoke to Alberta Ferretti. We worked with Alberta Ferretti, and they were really interested in what we were doing. And we really need to push ourselves, because as you're seeing with Valentino, starting to appreciate the artisans, the craftspeople. So I think next will be the fashion illustrators will come back, and there'll be, because of photography and Instagram, there'll be more of a desire for handmade and craft and drawing. And I feel that it just needs to be re-educated, the fashion system for drawing. I think it's the one area, because we're going to have 3D fashion making, which has replaced like the illustrator or the designer with Cloy and different softwares. I think that the illustrator's role will be maybe part of the documenting and bringing back more of the artisan approach to image making. So everyone will have their role. It's just how you put yourself within the positioning yourself in the market. And I feel some of your images that you have, where there's more than one figure, really could capture behind the scenes in a very beautiful way. Like as if you were Mario Testino or someone like that, photographing the ballet dancers. So I could imagine your work having that same sort of desirability as a photographer. So with that sort of poetic look, it's very poetic. Your work's very poetic. So it's great to see, and it's great to see you grow into these sorts of positions. So thank you for showing your work, and you know, we thank you for moving the time, because we managed to double book ourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Super.
for you, Patrick, for this moment. Thank you very
Lovely.
much.
And thank you for your translator.
Thank you, Patrick, for the
Thank you.
patience.
Good. Have a good evening, and we'll be uploading this to YouTube. Thank you.
Oh.
Oh, you
Ciao, ciao,
too.
ciao.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.